the closed session meeting of July 11th, 2023 to order. We have a nice big crowd here tonight. Welcome, everyone. We're going to move right into public comment. I do have several public comment cards. So like we did last time, I'm going to have to limit speakers' time to 1 minute. I think you were all probably tipped off about this. We do have a closed session meeting. We only have an hour. So I do appreciate everyone keeping your comments to 1 minute. We definitely appreciate that. So with that, we're going to start with public comment. And the first card I have is for Janine Brett. Welcome, Janine.
Hello, my name is Janine Bradley. I'm a retired nurse. I'm not a robot, I'm a real human being. And I've lived in Marin Valley community for 11 years. As longtime residents, we've made significant contributions to this community. We wish to continue doing so in a way that we can afford. And we give back. We volunteer and provide services, tutoring, helping with fireside drills, and even community health projects. Money can't buy the value of our community. We want you to work. We want to work with you. Let's do it.
Thank you so much. The next card I have is for Janine Thomas.
Oh, hey. Janine Thomas, MVMCC. And that's where I've invested all I've got, hoping to live out the rest of my days there. I believed what Mary Nealon told residents in 2008, that the preservation of a safe, affordable, and supportive community where all opinions matter and where neighbors respect and care for one another was the primary goal of continuing the NFA's ownership of the park and when the NFA was dissolved, the cities. Selling to HCA Property Management will make this promise null and void. I have neither the means nor the desire to live anywhere else. Marin Valley is my home. I've showered many a homeless person in my time as a psychiatric emergency nurse, and now I wonder who's going to be showering me. Selling our park to Dean Mosher is like Greyhound therapy for the homeless. It's not a solution to anything, and it won't make the city's money woes go away. Thanks.
Thank you. The next card I have is for Doug Hood. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello again, council members. And by the way, great job on the 4th of July parade. It was beautiful. You did great at that turnout. I represent HCA Management. I'm here tonight just to be recognized by the council. But however, we do not have any public comment tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. The next card I have is for John J. Shelford. Welcome.
Council members. In 1988, the PAC was formed to purchase and provide affordable living for MVMCC for the senior citizen there. They weren't able to fund it. So in 1997, they went to the city and formed a partnership to purchase the park from the previous owner. For the last 25 years, the city has worked with the city to pay down the debt and maintain this wonderful community. The citizens of Novato, nor the government of Novato, have had to subsidize this not-for-profit experiment in affordable living. The idea of the city of Novato selling our community has run through the community like a tsunami wave of fear, dread, and anxiety. People are getting sick and agitated by these feelings of dread. With this pending sale, the unknown, unfathomable future for us is terrifying. Work with us. We will work with you. We will help you with your financial needs and hopefully lift some of the management oversight which you seem to have difficulty in providing for us. The few of the people that are going to speak are representative of the whole 140 of us who are here. And thank you for your kind attention to this matter.
Thank you. Thank you, crowd. You're doing great.
Please remember, we don't need to be the last lifeboat on this Novato ship.
And the next card I have is for Michelle Rodriguez.
That's one.
Mayor and council members. My name is Michelle Rodriguez. I'm a retired public servant and a Marin Valley resident. In looking at the City of Novato's strategic plan, your core values for the city are equity, fairness, respect for all, honesty, integrity, ethical behavior, open government, fiscal responsibility, cooperation, and collaboration. We count on you and your staff to uphold these values. The city is obligated to provide transparent, accountable information to the community, and our experience has been a lack of transparency and collaboration with the city. We have maintained the quality of your property investment while maintaining a safe and healthy living environment. The lack of engagement and collaboration on the ongoing operation of the park and the handling of this sale has been unprofessional and disappointing at best. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. The next card I have is from Todd Rogers. Welcome, Todd.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Todd Rogers, a retired finance and accounting professional. I purchased a residence in Marin Valley Mobile Country Club about a year ago. I found that based on inappropriate financial information, the City of Novato is rushing toward an unsolicited offer from Marin Valley Mobile Country Club, the park, to save the city from a deficit not created by the park, yet they're doing so on the backs of park residents. The city has painted a financial picture of the park that is blatantly inaccurate and misrepresentative. In fact, the city's own records retrieved from your website reveal that Marin Valley Mobile Country Club is comfortably operated in the black year after year. We do not cost the city, rather we contribute to it. There is just no reason to sell. Thank you.
Thank you. The next card I have is for John Hanson.
Mayor Warnick and City Council. My name is John Hanson. I'm an 80-year-old grandfather. I'm a retired fireman, professional diver, marine biologist, and environmental consultant. During my 13 years that I've lived here in Marin Valley, I have volunteered for several local programs, including Marin County CERT, the Marin Medical Reserve Corps, Fire Safe Marin, and helped establish MFES, the envy of all other neighborhood response groups throughout the county. One of the things I've learned in my life is that sound decisions are based on sound information. The notion that Marin Valley property is being sold is based on flawed information. The apparent desperate need to sell this property is based on flawed data. We run a tight-knit operation here at Marin Valley, and we always have. Our books are always balanced. We're a great people and a great community. Don't throw us out. The property is not costing the city anything in reality. Marin Valley is an asset to Novato and all of Marin. Thank you.
Thank you. The next card I have is for Bill Davis.
Bill Davis and I lived at 5 New Bridge in Marin Valley for the last 18 years. Also, I'm on the Novato Fire District Board of Directors for 8.5 years, and the last 8 years I've been chairman of the Finance Committee. We all dread closed sessions. They're hard on everybody. So a few words of caution today. Why are you rushing into a decision when there's disputed facts on the table? Please take time to carefully look into the proposed solution for your short-term woes and the consequences, both intended and unintended. And finally, time is on your side. Take advantage of it to study your options more carefully.
Thank you. The next card I have is for Alan Young.
Good afternoon. My name is Alan Young. I'm a retired IT audit specialist at Fireman's Fund Insurance Company. I've lived in Marin Valley for almost 11 years and in the county for 45 years. I'm deeply concerned with the city's lack of transparency in this matter. Acting transparently and in good faith would have inspired the city to review Marin Valley financials with park management before submitting inaccurate and unaudited data to the grand jury. In the absence of this transparency, it's easy to assume an ulterior motive on the part of the city. Transparency and good faith would inspire the city to keep our community informed throughout the sale review process, which the city, unfortunately, is conducting in secrecy. We deserve to know what's going on. Your silence is creating stress and worry in our senior community. Everyone behind me is a Novato citizen. We're all human beings. We pay our way. We deserve better. Thank you.
The next speaker is Elisa Allen. Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, City Council members. Thank you for your service to the city and your time tonight. My name is Elisa Palma. I'm a very low-income resident in Marin Valley. I'm working in Guilford, Western New York. I've lived in Marin Valley for 5 years. The impact of selling this property with over 400 senior residents will be an extreme hardship for us. We are human beings. Does the city want to carry the scar of having ruined the lives of so many people, displacing them unnecessarily? Does Novato want to wear the badge of heartlessness? Please consider the human element first and foremost. It's what makes life worth living. I put everything into buying my home, all the money I have or ever will have. This is my home, and I have no plans to leave. At Marin Valley, we take care of each other with hugs, home care, and soup for the unwell, food for the economically disadvantaged, and love for our neighbors during their final breath. That is priceless. I beg you to remember we are human beings. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is David Teta.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My name is David Teta. My wife and I have lived in Marin Valley for 5 years. We're deeply concerned, as others have expressed, with the city of Novato's lack of transparency in your recent dealings with our community. City staff seem to be using inaccurate budget numbers as part of an effort to discredit our management group and thereby sell our park. There's a lack of transparency here that's completely at odds with your obligations as a public entity. It's as if you see yourselves as somehow exempt from the standard. The ongoing discussions of the sale you're having in closed session shock and distress us all and run contrary to that spirit of transparency. None of us understand why you won't engage with us first before turning to a developer in order to avoid the financial realities that you face. We're a vulnerable Novato community of retirees and seniors living on fixed incomes. We need to know what's really going on here. I'm asking you respectfully, please stop this backroom process now.
The next speaker is Timo Janovsky. Welcome. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Timo Nevsky, and I've been living in Marin Valley with my husband, who is 90, for 5 years. Why? We are both seniors and spent time looking for a retirement community with heart and soul and values which align with our own. Nature, preservation, and care for the land and the animals that we share the land with. My friend and I started a group which educates seniors on end-of-life practices. As we age, this group will care and support each other. We want to live among people who are living best practices for clean and responsible lives. For example, recycling, eventually putting in solar panels, and in generally helping our planet to go in a better direction for generations to come. Marin Valley is such a place. It is the crown jewel of retirement living in Marin. We want to continue living in an affordable, secure, safe, and caring community. Consider rezoning us as an affordable senior mobile home park. Imagine yourself or your parents living out their retirement years in such a lovely place. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Steve Walker. Welcome, Steve.
Hello again, council members. My name is Steve Ploger. I'm a practicing CPA, and I've lived in Marin Valley for 7 years. Marin Valley is not a financial burden on the city of Novato. Even so, let's take the time to find a way that our relationship as tenant and landlord can be less of a managerial and time burden on the city. Please put this sale on hold, as the whole process seems desperate and lacks transparency. Don't rush into something you'll regret. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. The next speaker is Janet Bogardus.
Council members, Mayor. My name is Janet Bogardus. I'm a retired federal worker and currently a professional artist. I've lived in Marin Valley with my wife, who is 88, for 16 years. I moved here largely because of its unique character as a strong, vibrant, self-managed community. I really oppose hasty consideration of the unsolicited offer and any sale proposal that does not ensure sufficient protections for our very special community, as you've heard from people before me. This community is financially self-sustaining and should not be disregarded for profit by the city. We want to work with you, not against you, but please do not ignore us. If you do, you'll break my heart.
Thank you. The next speaker is Joan Leopold.
Hello, I'm not normally a speaker, but I felt compelled to do this today. My name is Joan Leopold, and I'm a retired occupational therapist and teacher. I also still sub in the schools in Novato. I have lived in Marin Valley for 11 years, which has enabled me to live near my children and my grandchildren and to be part of their lives. If moved from this place, there is no way that I could live in California and be part of my children's lives. My husband and I had moved into Marin Valley because it was part of the city of Novato, and we were told that it was a safe and affordable place to live out our lives. My husband passed away 7 years ago, and I am still here. It's been a vital community where everyone helps everyone else. This sale has really terrorized so many of the community. I take my dog for a walk every morning, and just hearing everyone's conversations are pretty desperate and afraid. I wanted to say that we're a community, we're dwindling resources, both physically and financially, as you get older. People who've been there the longest are the most vulnerable. And I hope that you think of them, and most of these people cannot handle any higher rents. And I wanted to speak for them and for all of us. Thank you.
The next speaker is Michelle Rivers. Welcome, Michelle.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and City Council members. I'm Michelle Rivers and I've lived in the Marin Valley for 10 years. A problem with selling to a developer is that it changes our culture. It changes our lifestyle, our world, our everything. And it would undoubtedly raise the individual cost of living significantly and in an unsustainable way. Ultimately, we could end up losing our homes altogether. These things could happen to us, your residents, the people that represent Novato, Marin County, California. I please ask you to take this into your deepest part of your being and never forget that we are human beings. We are parents and grandparents and great-grandparents. Thank you.
Thank you. The next part I have is for Ed Collins.
So we meet again. We got to stop meeting like this. My name is Ed Collins. I have been a resident in Marin Valley for 15 years. Now, we're all aware that you have a financial problem to deal with, and I'm sure it's causing you a lot of stress and many hours of work. The lure of selling our homes, to solve that problem must be great. It's an easy fix, but not so simple because of how it might affect us. Please look past the financial gain to the true value of this community that this community offers us residents and the city of Novato. The true value of Marin Valley, again, our homes, supports your own mission statement, says in part, to provide excellent services and enrich the quality of life within the community. Marin Valley does that. We are not property to be sold for a profit. We are a vibrant community of elders supporting each other against the travails of aging and an often uncaring political system. Please choose to care. Please care about our community, and please care about us. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Mary Curry.
I was holding up the back wall.
Welcome, Mary.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, fellow council members. I have my prepared remarks, but I echo what everybody said already, so I'm not going to say my version of it. I'm going to say, as public servants, we're really calling deeply upon you to go into your hearts, into your minds, and empty the table and look at win-win situations. We need a win-win. That's all we're asking for. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Karen. I'm confused with this. Is it Martusa?
What?
Karen Martin, 11 years in Marin Valley. The crown jewel. You're going to really sell the crown jewel. I quote from Minister Fuller, who, apropos of the houseboat wars, this area should be called the Marin County Research Lab on how to make it. We're the crown jewel. Please learn from the Marin County Board of Supervisors, who struggled at very great expense for well over 50 years to rid the county of a thriving community of houseboaters. Threatening a thriving and educated community is not the way to save money for other purposes. I quote Dylan Thomas, "Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying light."
Thank you. The next speaker is Kamala Allen. I got that right?
Hi, I've lived in Marin Valley for 9.5 years. I'm a retired psychologist, and I feel the city of Novato is a failed fiduciary with regard to us at Marin Valley. It's neither maintained our reserves at a maintenance level or provided proper communication despite repeated requests by our leadership and our treasurer. Finally, the purported sale of this property shows a disregard for the long-term establishment of a self-sufficient, well-organized community of senior citizens with moderate means, which the sale of which will upend all of our lives. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Richard Park. Welcome, Richard.
Madam Mayor, council members, staff. My name is Richard Park. I am a retired social worker. I have been a resident of the Marin Valley mobile home community going on to 12 years now. I have been a widower for the last 8 years, living on fixed income, my wife having died in our Marin Valley mobile home. I have spoken before the council previously, not in person, but on Zoom, on issues, and I have felt heard by the council, if not always agreed with, but because of the lack of transparency around this issue, I feel deprived of the opportunity to speak to the specifics of the problems that we're facing. That leaves me in an anxious state about how I will live the last years of my life. I will be 90 in a couple more weeks. And that feeling is very uncomfortable. I am, after all, a human being. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. The next speaker is Irma Wheatley. Welcome, Irma.
Madam Mayor, council members, staff. Irma Wheatley, I'm a retired art director and graphic designer and a resident for 10 years at the park. The prospect of losing our life savings if a for-profit developer purchases the park is about as stressful and frightening as it gets for us. People in the park already are suffering health impacts now because of this. Your efforts to sell our wonderful Malone Park is based on false financial information. Do not ruin a perfectly well-organized and loving community which is operating in the black because your financial analysis is flawed. Please don't jump at what seems to be the low-hanging fruit. That could jeopardize the whole tree, which is holding up 420 aging human beings. Thank you.
Thank you, Martha. The next speaker is Charles Watson. Welcome, Charles.
Good evening. My name is Charles Watson. I've lived 12 years in Marin Valley. I'm a former marine biologist with the Department of Defense and a former environmental biologist with the Department of Homeland Security. I've lived here with my wife, my dog, and our 2 cats. My experience of living in Marin Valley is uplifting and invigorating, with a supportive community and environment. For our residents, families, and friends, it embraces those who are 55 and older with the support of our neighbors and the unique opportunity to embrace the tranquility of nature. We strive to offer a truly beautiful and peaceful place to call home. Our philosophy centers around fostering a harmonious and environmentally conscious senior community where everyone can thrive. At Marin Valley, we firmly believe that fostering harmony, community-wide support, and independent living are of the utmost importance in creating a unique senior community. I am thankful that I live in a community that promotes well-being and affordable living for all. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is Jim Ronule.
Hi, my name is Jim Grunwald, and I'm a retired substance abuse counselor for homeless services. Lived at Marin Valley for 12 years. And I live on a limited income, fixed income. I've always felt safe in Marin Valley because it's owned by the city of Novato. Now I'm really concerned that if you sell to a for-profit entity, I'm not going to be able to live here anymore. And I could, in fact, become homeless myself. And after years of working and serving the homeless, I'm very sure that I would not survive very long if I have to live that way. So I hope you'll find a way to continue to support and manage us. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. The next speaker is Serena Fisher.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor and honorable council members. My name is Serena Fisher and I'm a non-profit consultant and I've lived in Marin Valley for almost 11 years. It is well documented that for older adults, among the key social determinants of healthy aging include access to affordable housing and social connections. Marin Valley is a shining example of how an elder community can collaboratively support itself as its members age. I've heard so many beautiful, heartfelt presentations here. All I can say is that this is a gem of a community. Please don't consider us as an asset to be sold. The city can and should look at other alternatives to making a hasty decision. You had alternatives to bring more income revenue into the county. The members of this community have definitely paid their dues to society. It's time for the Novato City staff and council members show their respect and care for the vulnerable in our community. Compassion goes a long way. As you can see, we are human beings after all. Thank you.
The next speaker is Pam Drew. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you, for this hold up here this evening. I'm so proud and privileged to be addressing you because you are the representatives of a large and thriving town of people who are at their very hearts, at the basis of their being. They are a generous group of people. They are extremely generous, and that generosity has not abated over the years, even though the property values keep getting higher and higher. What we see here tonight is the typical conflict between land and power and people. And the city owns the land, and it is a beautiful, fabulous place. It is also expensive enough that it could attract developers from far and wide. And I suspect we could get more than 30 million if that's all we wanted to do. If all we wanted to do was to put 30 million into the coffers of the city, or more, we could do it.
And if you could wrap up your comments.
But what we want to do is to keep this model of affordable housing, to keep it as a shining light for the rest of the county, and to continue our heritage of generosity. We are a generous city, and you are a generous council. Thank you.
The next card is for Gary Appleman. Welcome, Gary.
Good afternoon. I've addressed the city council in the past. I'd also like to address my neighbors and friends. Basically, you cannot believe.
Your comments are to be directed to the council.
I'd like my friends and neighbors to be able to see me as well. We cannot believe that that this sale goes through, that we can afford to live in our homes. The developer is paying $100,000 for every pad.
Gary, again, your comments are addressed to the council. Thank you.
Well, great. People. And the council, they're willing, the developer's paying $100,000 a pad. 10% return. That's $10,000 more in income he has to get from every one of us a year, just to begin. And the developer said, who can afford that? Please tell me, who can afford to pay another $10,000 a year? Anybody? And the developer said, oh, he's never evicted anybody. What he's going to do is already, the value of our homes have dropped significantly. Who's going to buy into this park with this going on? So what he's going to do is when you cannot pay, or your neighbor cannot pay the rent, they're going to buy your house for pennies on the dollar, pull it out like every other one of these developers do, put it in and sell it for a lot of money. We are facing economic ruin. And how many of us at 90 years old or 80 years old can lose their house and survive and live? Thank you.
The next speaker is Gary Nelson.
Thank you all for your service, and I declare shenanigans. I believe that a number of years ago, 8 to 10 years ago, the city of Novato, before you guys sat here, absconded with the property that was originally intended 50 years ago when the charter was written, that the land would revert to the people that are living there. And some very clever lawyers and unscrupulous shenanigans took over. And so we have no reason to trust this group of people. And now we have, oh, why don't we trust you? We can't see what you're doing. And so we're on our way up tomorrow morning, and the Independent Journal can say one thing or another on the cover. 400 seniors on the street. Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? They're heartbroken. Or You guys can be a national hero. Story taken around the world about how the council in Novato stood up to unscrupulous development.
Comments, please.
Okay.
At the last meeting, I did ask, and I failed to do this at this meeting, but I did ask at the last meeting if you agreed with the speaker to wave your hands. It's not good protocol to be screaming in the council chambers, and it's not part of our policy. So if you do agree with the speaker, if you wave your hands like this, that sends a message to the council that you support the speaker. So we would appreciate it if you could watch for that request. So moving along, I have one last card, Sandra Fabelli. Welcome, Sandra.
Hi, I'm Sandra Pagani, 35 Scenic Drive, and I've waited years to say this to Pat Eklund. It's worse than shenanigans. What you've done is immoral. Do you remember telling us that we could borrow the money, and when we paid it off,
We
could get the land. She promised us, and then she promised us that she would not sell. You are a bad person.
Stop it.
Apologies, Councilmember Eklund, for that. I apologize, that concludes all the speaker cards I have, unless there is anyone else. Mary, you already did speak Mark's policy is one.
Just one quick apology.
Okay, one quick apology, thank you.
I want to apologize from everyone in this room for Pat Eklund. It's not necessary to talk like that.
Thank you.
That's right. Much appreciated.
And with that, that closes public comment. Is there one more?
I didn't want us to just leave with the last comment. We are a community that takes care of each other. We are not just a bunch of houses and dollar signs. Many of us are living in fear right now. This stress has affected us mentally, emotionally, and physically. There have been trips to the emergency room for high blood pressure, urgent care, for gastric blockages. This is real for us. We feel threatened. Your lack of transparency, since we've had a long-term relationship, is just hard to digest. We've honored our agreements and have never been a financial drain. We want to live and die peacefully in our homes, and we want to be aligned with you in clear communication and good relations. Long-term home security and sense of belonging is a core human need, and that need feels threatened right now. What outcome would you want for your loved ones? Do not disregard us. Show them you want your loved ones to feel a sense of ease and security as they age. Selling us does not give us ease and security. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. Okay, seeing no other cards, then I'm going to go ahead and close public comment.